too. Don't go away. Let me talk all things COVID now with Dr Katie Allen, the Liberal member for the Victorian seat of Higgins. Good to talk to you again, Katie. First up, how concerned should we be about the new African strain of COVID-19?
Look, Chris, this is the new world of COVID. We are going to have to watch new strains as they come online. We're all expecting there's going to be continuing new strains. So it's a wait and watch at this point in time. I think we've heard from the Health Minister. He's across his briefs with regards to looking at new strains as they are emerging. The one fantastic thing that we have is extremely high rates of vaccination coverage in this country. Australians have been putting forward their shoulders with great enthusiasm, which is wonderful. And the second great thing is that we have our booster program up and ready and running. So anyone who's had their 2 doses within 6 months or at the 6-month mark, they are then eligible for their 3rd dose or their booster dose, which will be a Pfizer dose, highly effective. And Australia is in a good position because as we come through the summer period and head into winter, we know that the boosters will be coming online just in time for the winter period.
Now, the much maligned AstraZeneca vaccine, there's some research coming out of Europe and the UK of late that suggests one of the reasons the UK is doing so well going into this winter compared to Europe is that the AstraZeneca vaccine seems to deliver a longer lasting immunity. The Pfizer stuff wears off. So it's another reason we should be ashamed of the way that vaccine's been denigrated in this country.
100%, Chris. I could not agree with you more. The AstraZeneca vaccine has been the backbone of the vaccination rollout around the world. And in fact, Australia has a very large amount of people who've received the AstraZeneca vaccine, which is good for Australia because we know it has good, long-lasting immunity. There's also some emerging evidence that AstraZeneca combined with Pfizer as a booster is a very good augmenting regime. So we're actually in an extremely good position in Australia. And I have to say, there was a period in the middle of the year when Labor, in particular, the Labor candidate for Higgins, was talking down AstraZeneca against health advice. And that was causing Labor's position on this was causing significant vaccine hesitancy. And so it's very good to see that that seems to have all dissolved. People understand that the TGA and ATAGI have got their eyes on the game. They're watching very closely about what is the best decisions to make for Australia. And the Health Minister, Greg Hunt, and the Prime Minister are making the best decisions for Australia. So Australia has come through what's been a difficult 18 months, but we're in a front seat position with regards to our response to COVID with the 2nd lowest death rate per capita in the OECD from COVID. And that's because Australians have worked so hard to put their arms forward. The Australian government has worked so hard to get supply right.
All right.
A difficult start, but it's been a good outcome.
Magnificent vaccination rates now, the envy of the world, right? And people have been cooperative. On my phone, I've got my vaccine proof, as everyone does, and we're sick of flashing that every time we go to a restaurant or a cafe. Now, you and others are pushing, let's get rid of those vaccine passports. Let's just open up to everyone as quickly as possible because our vaccination rates are so high. And I'm 100% behind that, been pushing it so hard every day. But there's going to be a new tension, isn't there, with these booster shots? Are we now going to be demanded to prove that we have a booster shot on our vaccine passport, or can we accept that double vax is enough, move on?
Well, I think if you've got the booster, it's just going to be added to your immunisation register. And so the decision of whether you've got the booster or not will be based on what you show when you have to show at a particular function environment. I think the important thing is Australians want to get back to their normal way of living. We have to keep an open and a preparedness for the ever-ready threat that could be new waves of COVID that come in our direction. So as the evidence changes, the Australian guidelines changed to keep up with the situation, to make sure that the safety of Australians comes first, and that we work hand in glove with making sure that the Australian people are informed of the decisions in a wise and balanced way.
We will see how it all goes. Thanks for joining us, Katie.
Thanks so much.
Dr. Katie Allen there in Melbourne. I'll be catching up with the New South Wales Treasurer later in the program. I want to find out from him because on December the 15th in New South Wales, you should be able to kiss goodbye to QR codes and vaccine passports and whatever. We want to make sure that stays the case forever and it spreads around the country.